Yes.
All right, we are live. Welcome to the second podcast at Variety Pie. Everyone,
That was showing.
What?
I don't think that's what's showing.
It's fine. It's fine. See, because what are you laughing at?
I'm not laughing. I'm so.
You are
proud of
laughing at
You
us.
finally did it. Hey, look! I got a
That one took
notification.
See?
like 20 minutes.
I got a notification that someone went live.
Yeah. See. All right. So.
I'm worried.
You should be.
It's just doing this over and over again.
Wow. Okay.
That's
So
how you get all
behave.
those.
Behave, people. All right. So
Don't tell me what to do.
I will tell you what to do.
I'm
I'll
not
beat
sure.
you up.
Freaking do it.
Come here.
All right. So Isaiah, what were you talking about just now?
Which time?
When you said, save this for the podcast.
Save this for the
Which
podcast.
time?
Well, we're jumping straight into that.
Yeah, we're in. We're in right now.
We're
We're
not
into
going to
preamble or
introductions. I mean,
Okay, fine.
something,
Introductions.
like, how do
We already screwed the beginning up. So,
Yeah, you did.
Variety Pie. It's me, Aslan. There's Mark. What's up? It's fine. Look at this. Look at this.
the video for your.
It's awesome. I know.
it's
It's beautiful. You're screwing up the introductions, Isaiah.
Oh my bad.
You're supposed to just roll with it, dog.
We're still going to just.
I'm a very emotionally disturbed man.
That's
Okay.
fair.
Let's start over.
Professionalism.
I'm Aslan. Got here, Mark. Say hello, Mark. Boop, boop. I said hello. Say hello.
Hi.
Caleb, say hello.
What's up?
Dad Shade.
I'm offended.
You want to
What?
use a nickname?
No, like, is that like your screen name or your channel name?
Ice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on a different channel from us.
Exactly. That's why.
He's on a different
Ah,
channel
see.
from us.
I'm not tied to your rules.
Whoa.
I am my own person.
He is his own person.
What
Yeah.
are we calling you?
Ice.
Okay.
You
Ice.
call me Ice.
I can
Baby.
live with that.
It sounds like a hitman's name.
That's different. I usually get drug dealer. I'm glad you went somewhere else with it.
Well, okay.
What was supposed to be?
I think there was actually a Muppet hitman named Iceman.
Did
As
what?
in, it's recording from the system.
I know.
What do you think's gonna happen?
It's an endless loop. Just roll with it, dog. Just roll with it.
You
Okay.
Aslan.
What's up, man?
Reason.
I'm the reason
Yeah.
for the season.
No, we can't have nice names.
I'm usually that. I am usually that. All right, introductions are done. Okay, Isaiah. Hello.
Okay.
Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you.
It went
Thank you
so-
for
went
having
so-
me.
It's no problem. It went so much smoother the last podcast. I promise.
So, are you blaming me?
I am blaming
Blaming
you.
the guest.
You have
You're
the
awesome, dude.
Wow.
you have this evil aura about you.
It's an evil aura now.
It's an
Okay.
evil aura. I don't trust you.
Trust that you invite me into your studio.
Uh huh.
Oh, okay. Guess it's better than inviting me into your home.
I mean, this is not related.
This is a home, just not the
I
home
wasn't
you're
going to
used to.
say that, but you said it first.
Let's roll with it.
All right, so okay. I feel bad, kind of hijacking the podcast straight off jump, but
Go
you
for it.
want me to spit? Okay, so
Yeah.
I was away for some training. Right, I was away for 2 weeks, and you ever get those people in your life where it's like, and I shouldn't say people in my life because he's not really in my life. He's just some guy that I happen to meet. We'll call him a coworker. We'll call him. I don't know, Brad. We'll call him Brad. That's his name.
Okay, you're gonna have to name him something else.
Name him something else, please.
Oh, okay. Sam. Is
That'll
Sam
work.
Okay,
available?
Sam.
I don't know
There
any
you go,
Sams.
Sam.
That'll work.
Sam works.
Okay. So Sam was full of crap. He was full of crap. I
Full
mean,
of himself.
he was one of those guys that I have no doubt that he was one of those guys that knew a little bit about a lot. But he liked to act like he knew a lot about a lot when he really didn't.
We know a guy like that.
Sure, everyone has
Which
that
one?
person in their house.
Morgan?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
name names?
You're just going to throw names on a podcast?
Wow.
We are.
I mean, we threw our
Go
own
ahead.
names out there, so I mean, might as well.
So since you put your own name out there, anyway, everyone's free game, right?
Hey, we didn't use any last
Everyone-
names. We didn't use any last
What
names.
was his last name?
You ain't catching me on that one.
So anyway, So I'm sure we all have that person in our life, and you would like to get them, like catch them on some stuff, but you're like, one, it's not worth the argument that's going to follow up because they're going to have something to say. Two,
It's a never-ending argument.
you don't know enough to dig that deep into their argument with them, right?
You gotta.
So honestly, the only reason I probably jumped on this kid the way I did is out of boredom. Been gone for almost 2 weeks. Really nothing else to do except for shoot pool. So we were shooting pool, right? And me and this guy I had just built a computer for was talking about how we miss playing games because we couldn't bring our computers for this training or whatever. And he comes and he's like, "Well, I could have brought mine. It's a laptop." And I'm jokingly like, "Oh well, we got towers, so
Gotta flex on him.
got to flex on him just a little bit, right?" And one, he took it very personally. Two, he was like, "Well, I have a laptop that plugs into a tower," and I was like, "So this kid's trying to act like his laptop's a tower hybrid, whatever." But I was like, "This could be a thing, or he could just be full of it."
Red flag.
Right? But
Switch.
I was bored, so you know what? I was like, "I'm gonna dive in.
Wait.
Let's go."
Can I ask something? What were you training for?
I was going to avoid that, but military training.
Okay.
It's not important.
It kind of is because when you get the idea that it's military training, and I was gone for 2 weeks dealing with military crap for 2 weeks, you kind of like, I was getting to that point where it's just like,
I need something.
no, it's more like I'm done with dealing with crap, and here's some crap in my face, and this is some crap I can do something about. So I was like, let's go. So I'm going to edit our conversation a little bit. I'm going to get to I'm going to hit the high points, right? Because there was a lot of back and forth and a lot of him saying one thing and me going, really? Because that's not how it works. And then he'll try to backpedal it into something else, right?
A lot of backpedaling.
So there was a lot of back and forth. And eventually what I was able to get out of him is that at first I thought the system he had set up was he was running his tower from he could plug his tower into his laptop and run off the laptop's display, which means he doesn't need to buy a monitor. I don't know, why you would want to do that or how you would do it, but I could see that being a thing. But no, he told me that he had it set up so he could the tower could use the laptop's RAM. I was like,
What's wrong with it? That's not a big improvement.
that's what I thought. But first I was like, that's not the way RAM works. You can't just go pulling RAM in and out of a system and it just keep working like that. That's not the way, unless you reconfigure the system. But
A lot of soldering.
that's not even the purpose. It's like the way an OS works.
It was a joke.
Oh, okay.
No, dude, jokes are funny.
I thought you downloaded it from a Nigerian prince.
Yes.
I'm a Nigerian prince. I need you to send me $50,000 to help me. My country's in crisis.
I'll send you
We need
RAM.
RAM. In return, I'll send you 32 gigs of RAM.
No, what it is he's going to send you a check for you to download the RAM for him and send it back to him. So he was telling me how his RAM worked, and I was like, that's not how RAM works. And eventually he had hardwired the two. He has the machines wired together in a way that he flips a switch and decides which RAM to run off of. So at this point, I was like, how much RAM is in your tower? Because I'm thinking maybe he has a little bit of RAM in whatever. He has 32 gigs of RAM in his tower, which is more than you'll ever need for anything, basically, unless you're running some kind of maybe animators with simulations, maybe.
Maybe.
But I'm not even sure that's how.
Yeah, I
If you're
too.
using Mass Effects, then yeah, you probably. I don't even know.
Because
It's been a
when
little
you're
while
rendering-
since I messed
but
with
rendering-
3ds Max.
But rendering isn't RAM, is it?
No,
It's
it
using the computer's
depends on the software because Blender can run off the graphics card while as
This
some
guy's
others.
not making any Marvel movies, so I don't believe that's what he was doing. So I was like, all right. So I was like, okay, fine. Why do you need your computer? Because he runs his own servers, right? I was like, cool. He runs his own Minecraft, Blackjack, and GTA 5 server.
Okay, first off, why blackjack?
That was the lowest Y on, like, there's so many other Ys before I get to why Blackjack. I understand, but that
A
was
server
actually,
dedicated to blackjack.
that was the most realistic one. Is that he had a blackjack server. But the fact was is that they were all running locally on his machine. First, he tried to say they were coded on his machine. I was like, did you just try to tell me you coded a copy of GTA 5 to run on your machine? And he's like, no, that's not what I meant. I hope it wasn't, because you just tried to tell me you made a game. But whatever.
Bootleg Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Sam.
Would it be like
Grand Theft Stick Shift.
it would be it'd be minor theft auto. Not grand theft. It's a minor thing. Minor graffiti. Something like that. But anyway, so I'm going back and forth. And finally, so my job is networking. So I was like, you know what? I can easily just switch this into something I actually know a lot about. I know a lot about hardware, but it's not something I know. I can't really debunk straight up, be like, this is not how it works when it comes to hardware. So I was like, we'll steer this a little bit further. Then to networking, I was like, how do people get to your server? If your server is local inside your home, you have to let people from the internet into your server some way. And your house isn't normally set up to do that because firewalls and that's how you let
You don't
people
want people getting into your...
Right. So I was like, so you have a server, how do people get to your server? He's like, well, you use Discord, links and stuff like that. I was like, no. How do people get to the server inside your house? He's like, you know how a hyperlink works, right? That's not, no, that's not.
No, honey.
So I was like, fine, we'll do something. And at this point, I am really just steering him into a trap, because I know
You're dedicated to this.
I am steering him into a subject that I know a lot about. Like, it's what I do on a daily basis, which we run the internet for all the schools in the state. So we're basically where you would call AT&T, they call us. So we're basically their internet service provider. So I was like, we're going to stay on internet. And so I was like, how much bandwidth do you have? Because I don't know how much RAM it takes to run a server, but I know it takes a whole bunch of bandwidth if you are letting people into your home network and they have to get back out. So I was like, how much bandwidth do you have at your house? This kid, wait for it. He told me he had 2 gigs of bandwidth going into his house. Not sure if you know what that means. Google Fiber gives you a gig. And that is like, outside of a business, that is the best internet speed you are ever going to get.
I wish I had that.
Is a gig.
So this man has the internet of NASA.
I don't even think NASA uses that much bandwidth. He said he had 2 gigs. I was like, you have 2 gigs. And I guess he saw the disbelief, and his backpedal was, no, not 2 gigs. I have 100 gigs. I was like,
that's a huge increase.
Bandwidth. That means
That's not backpedaling, that's jumping off the cliff.
that's exactly. You're right. He didn't backpedal. He just dove headlong into that bad boy.
He floor that pedal. Like,
To give
the cliff.
you an idea of what that means. So the way the internet works is that it's not the cloud. It's just a bunch of servers somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, we have the company I work for, we have servers in Atlanta. We have servers in Huntsville and Montgomery. Those big server rooms we share. It's a huge server room, tons of security, and we share that space with things like companies like Verizon, Google, AT&T, all the other big internet service, Apple. All their servers are in these rooms that we share, right? But we have to have enough bandwidth to allow the whole state basically to communicate back and forth between these servers, right? We just now upgraded to 100 gig pipes. This kid is telling me he has the max bandwidth for the whole state going to his house.
He's
Yeah, right. Come on,
He
kid.
owns the
Really?
state, Isaiah.
Really?
That's
So,
not one server. That's like a lot of servers.
at that point, I was like, "You just spoke some ridiculousness, and I'm out." I'm like, I had completed my job. I walked away proud of myself. Yes, it was very petty, but it was probably the highlight of my 2 weeks. It was that like made my 2 weeks, and I like the biggest thing I wanted to do. Like, it kind of sucked though, because like when the fight, no one knows. No, you can't really talk to anybody about. It's like if you want to fight and try to like anyone I tried to explain it to. It's like if you want to fight and try to explain to someone what MMA was who's never seen MMA. Because if you don't know about the subject matter, they're just like, I don't get it. But like I of course jumped on the internet and like went straight to like my Discord friends and was like, let me tell you a story.
I've got a grand tale for you.
I have a grand tale about the kid who has more bandwidth than the state, than the school systems. So yeah, if you're looking for a server with some amazing bandwidth, I know where you can go.
Just text me his number.
I just want to be on his street because I want to get his service. And he told me I asked him his internet service provider. It was like
Was it WoW?
what's Comcast call themselves now?
Mediacom,
No, it's
Comcast.
Sprint.
Oh, Spectrum?
It was Spectrum, and I was just like, yeah, because they have great service. Okay, cool, whatever, dude. Yeah, Spectrum is.
Wait, did they name change?
Hmm?
Did Comcast? I
I
thought they
don't
were
remember who it
Extreme.
was. I don't remember who it was. It might not have been Comcast. It might have been someone else.
Okay.
I mean,
Long story short, it's Spectrum. Okay.
I mean,
so-
I'm sure there's a way to. If there was only a way to like look up information.
I bet his Minecraft servers barely run.
Probably. Go to the Nether, crash the server.
Go to the end. Just set his house on fire.
Drop lava
Burn
at Caleb's
along
feet.
with your 100 gigs
Charter.
of bandwidth.
Chartered became Spectrum.
Charter. Okay.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay.
Because I think it is still Extreme or whatever for them.
Okay.
I was worried about eating and drinking on the podcast, but the mic's all the way over there.
No, yeah, that's why I said
Totally get away with
go
this.
right
Yeah,
ahead.
get it.
Go in
There's
for
a
the
cold
fridge.
one in the fridge, man.
A lot of
To be
coupons.
fair, the mic
Hey,
occasionally
this is
picks
a
up his
PG-13
brother
podcast.
and-
I'm talking about sodas.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you're under the age of 21, you can't listen to this podcast upon the mention of alcohol.
Yeah, you just mentioned it.
Ah!
God, flip the
I
switch.
get it.
Flip the
Oh, we
switch.
got restart.
We're now
restart.
rated R podcast. You got to put the age restriction
Monetized.
on there.
No, YouTube has a really crappy editing system. I could just use that. I can spend 2 hours.
It's very
editing out.
wise to just insult the service provider we're currently using.
Oh.
You can spend 2 hours editing out that 10 seconds worth of audio.
I don't care.
And then you have to explain this whole conversation.
I'll say
no callbacks to that joke.
I'm just gonna say it was ironic. I said this ironically, and I'm talking on the podcast. How I'm gonna lie to YouTube.
It's like
So,
trying to insult Twitch.
You're not
without-
lying on YouTube. You're just editing. That's not lying. Editing is not lying. It's just
Editing can be
I mean,
lying.
just like
It can
Photoshop
be
is not
lying.
lying.
I mean, it's technically
Okay,
for,
say that to North Korea. Okay.
it's
say
technically
that to
under the what's the critique?
Editing?
No, what was said.
No big words, please.
Oh, you're saying when we're talking about lying, you're talking about how he's not bashing
What?
YouTube. He is constructive criticism.
It is
Or-
constructive.
Of course, yes. YouTube.
Constructive criticism.
Quack. Now to the ASMR. Look at us just covering all of our bases. So, so I don't want to like hijack the podcast, but you were asking me about a game that you
Yeah, I
you
was.
you've been getting into recently.
Well, I haven't started playing them.
Mhm.
The Cycle and Ring of Elysium, which you told me has been out for a
Ring
while,
of
and I didn't start seeing ads until a month ago.
Imagine PUBG, but you get to jump on a snowboard and just do some
And
just
that's
some
what I-
SSX tricky. Just
Like when they,
Do you say SSX tricky?
I said SSX tricky.
you can literally
No!
you can literally get a BMX bike and just go. And I was just sitting there like,
Yes.
okay, hold
Yeah.
the phone. Where's this game been?
So
Where they do it? Why they do it?
like imagine
I lost my
imagine if on
Biscuits.
PUBG instead of having to climb on top, what is that? What is that one area that has all the shipping crates?
the freight yard.
Are you talking about on the military island or on the main island?
There's military base doesn't have military base has
It
an
has
area.
a city with a huge shipping crate area.
But like
You're talking about George Pool.
Yes, I'm talking about Georgia Pool. Like imagine
Oh, yeah.
Georgia Pool if you could just jump on top of it and then just start BMXing across all the shipping crates. You could do that on this game. Better yet, what's even more fun is when you jump because you basically the BMX bike is a hotkey and you pull it out like you're playing Pokemon and it just comes out your pocket or something and you have it.
Nice.
Like that's
Wow.
it, right? You get on top of a building, you just BMX off the roof. It's awesome.
That sounds like I hate to make this analogy, but Fortnite introduced the hoverboard thing.
Fortnite introduced the hoverboard because it came from Ring of Elysium. Zipline
Really?
was Ring of Elysium, and then Fortnite did it. Did you know Fortnite is now deciding to put mechs? So now they're just going to stomp all over Titanfall. They decide there's
They're
mechs in
big-
Fortnite now. I don't know how you balance a mech, but I'm sure they'll figure out a way to do it and make tons of money.
As long as they're better at balancing things than Overwatch,
they'll run into
they'll
the
probably
same
make
issue
it.
they did with the Infinity Blade, which was still one of my favorite iOS games. Still upset that it's no longer
I
around.
remember what issue
The
did they run
Infinity
into?
Blade, it basically gave you like 200 health, 200 overshield, something like that. But every time you got a kill, it would life drain
Oh,
and shield drain.
so you
So
are
it-
talking about an iOS game, but you're also talking about Fortnite. Got it. Because
Yeah.
I remember seeing Infinity Blade, and that was one of the few times I was jealous of Apple customers. Besides,
It was a cool game,
Apple
and it
must
was
be.
made by Epic. They took it off the iOS store, and I can't find 1, 2, or 3. And I enjoyed playing those games because it gave you a really hard sense of progression.
okay.
You were basically working to an end goal
And
to
it was
get
on a
the
mobile-
Infinity
And
Blade.
it was on a mobile game, which is kind of great.
It's awesome.
It was all right. My phone couldn't run it 100%.
But
Because-
so tell me more about the Infinity Blade on
When
Fortnite. So was this a play on the Infinity Gauntlet? Did it come around?
No, it
Okay.
was a different release. They actually had a whole trailer with it too. But it was basically the Infinity Blade from the Infinity Blade series. The
Oh.
Infinity Blade in the game was kind of like an essence stealer. You kill your opponent, you take all their strength, their power, their force of will to live.
So
basically.
how did that translate into the game?
Well, upon picking said sword up,
Uh-huh.
sword OP in Fortnite Battle Royale, gave you 200 overshield, 200
picking
health
it up.
upon picking it up.
So this is before you even hit anybody with it.
Yeah. And
Okay.
any shield or HP plus, I think it had a damage resistance. It had a slam attack, which no fall off, no fall damage. Upon
You can negate
jump
all the
off a
ball damage.
Now,
That's awesome.
Don't take my word for it.
Halo 3.
I did not get to play during the Infinity Blade's release because I was hiatusing, or rather, Fortnite took a very big shift to the back of my closet.
Or you could just, you started playing an adult game, I'm sure.
I did. It was Destiny too. And Apex Legends, because that was right around that same time.
So the fact that Apex Legends does so many great things on Battle Royales where it's like you do something, like you discover something, you're like, I didn't know I needed this in my life. The fact that they have no fall damage in Apex Legends is like such a game changer when it comes to Battle
I mean,
Royale.
that's how it was with I wish more games that are on that spectrum of not realistic would start following that. Like, hey, maybe gravity isn't as severe on this planet. They can take.
Gravity
fall.
can be fine. Maybe it just doesn't hurt me. It's not constantly trying to kill me.
Or maybe not
Gravity's
hurt
a
you
force
as
in
bad.
nature. It's always trying to kill something.
Right.
Whether it's the dinosaurs because they're
Right.
unrealistic size.
Right. So when you killed something with the Infinity Blade,
It stole their health, their shields, and restored yours. It was an unfair advantage in a fight.
how many of these were on the map at a time?
It's kind of like trying to find a gold weapon.
But there was more than one. Okay.
You could potentially get more than one on a map. It's kind of like Thanos in
Okay.
the Infinity
So,
Gauntlet.
what was the range? Because it's obviously melee.
I mean,
range, but
Like I said, I didn't get to play, but I'm pretty sure that the blast radius from the slam attack was considerably large.
how much damage did you do to the buildings?
I don't know, actually.
What
I mean,
are you
there's probably-
laughing at?
I'm sorry, you just said
Like I
the
said-
range on a melee weapon. The first thing that came to my
Like
mind
I
is
said, you could
Commando
probably-
Pro from Modern Warfare 1.
Like I said, don't take any of what I'm saying as fact
You mean
because
the thing where it's like you swung at him and he's a high five distance away, but he's gonna smack. He's gonna take that damage.
Yeah, like on the
I
map.
remember that.
don't take anything I say as fact because I didn't get to play during the Infinity.
I was trying to tell a joke, Mark.
I'm sorry.
You're going back to that dumb topic.
I'm sorry.
Whatever. It's too late. You ruined my life.
What?
Continue.
But I mean, they've done some interesting things like the. I hate to say this, the freaking hamster ball. Probably my favorite tool in that whole thing.
Fortnite has some great ideas. I'm not saying it doesn't have great ideas.
Yeah.
Fortnite has some great ideas. Putting aside how much they basically work their employees into the ground, putting that aside, their speed of rolling stuff out is kind of ridiculous. Apex Legends came out, no fanfare. It just kind of dropped and was like ready to play now. I'm pretty sure like the next month, Fortnite had respawn beacons, which they got from Apex Legends. Pretty sure they had still in that, but I'm impressed at the speed. If it worked, I never tried it, but if
it did work.
if
It was
wasn't
just
buggy,
slower.
If it wasn't buggy, my point is like it didn't break the game. Like it was to be able to do that. It's just like, and I think since Fortnite has such a fast turnover for a lot of things, I should say Epic has such a fast turnover. They could throw things in the game that totally break the game, but they're just going to patch it and figure the balance out the next week.
My big thing is like I play
Or
a lot
EA
of.
can do that.
Huh?
Or EA can do that.
They could, but EA decides that they want you to pay for it. Pay for my
No,
patch.
Let's backpedal off of Fortnite for the time being because we were initially I was talking about Ring of Elysium, right?
Right.
And,
A good one.
yes.
A good battle royale.
Now I've played PUBG, I've played Fortnite, I've played Apex, I've played. No, that's about all the battle royales I played. Oh, I played Blackout on Call of Duty once.
Have you played PUBG Mobile?
Yes.
Tencent, the people who made PUBG Mobile, made Ring of Elysium.
Really?
That's the same people. Yes. Tencent is like, they're not big over here in the States, but they're really big in China. They're really big over
Most
there
mobile
in
companies are.
but they're more than just a mobile game company.
Right.
They are like, I don't want to say EA because that's like insulting them, but they're that big. They are a really big deal in China.
And that's fair.
And you know why mobile games are big in China?
Why?
A TIL. And it's one of those Asian countries. I am showing my American ignorance by saying China because watch it be like Japan or something.
Just say a Southeast
Southeast
Asian
Asian.
country.
Southeast Asian country is because consoles right now are outlawed.
Really?
Like to get a console, it has to be like the way we get a Huawei phone. It's like you have to have it shipped over because you can't sell a console, which is why mobile games do so great. Is because you can't sell a console. And I think something Switch, Nintendo is hoping to change that with the new Switch because they can call it a handheld because it has no console thing.
Right.
What now? The Switch Lite?
Yes, the Switch Lite, and way to just jump in on the podcast. but the Switch Lite is they're hoping to be able to break that get into that market. Your whispering is distracting me. But yeah, that's why mobile games are so big. But Tencent, they did a lot of great things in Ring of Elysium. They did a lot of great things, and just the fact, just their whole movement mechanics are pretty great. Like you have, you used to have a snowboard, a BMX, and a glider. Now with the new, that was their snow map, but now you're on an island map, and you have a
Underwater scuba.
That's not even one because everyone has that. So I wasn't even going to count that one. That's not even one of the ones you have to pick. That's like everyone has that, which I haven't used it a lot, but that like they have a whole like pirate themed thing that I like. It's one of those things. It's kind of like Fortnite where it's starting to have so much stuff that you could ignore a good portion of it and still play it and still have a decent game. Like you don't need to ever go underwater. You can, you never really need to. So like they also have these pirate ships that show up and they have really great loot on them. It's another thing you could totally ignore and still have a decent game. You just kill someone else and take it from them.
I mean, I think the big thing that turns me away from Fortnite is the building. I get irritated.
I was actually going to bring that up.
Oh my
With
god.
the Infinity Blade. So at first I was like, I don't see how how a melee-based weapon works on anything. Because isn't the pan in PUBG like a one-hit kill?
No, it's
No,
two.
But
it's a 2-hit.
It's a two-hit. When are you getting close? If someone gets close enough to hit you once with the pan, you're bad. Like, but in Fortnite, and that's one reason I stopped playing is because every duel either becomes a peeking sniper match, which is boring, or a close range shotgun battle because you're just having to either charge into their building because you tap especially playing with someone who's good at Fortnite, you hit the once mansion. It's like and I never built that fast. I'm not going to even try.
You forgot the other way that people fight each other is who can build the highest, the fastest.
And then knock down their tower.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
drop a nade at the bottom of the tower.
They
And
just
just watch
build
it crumble.
the sky
It's like that-
platforms and
that's
follow
how
the storm.
Right.
That's how every battle is you got like two people fighting, and suddenly it turns into the Leaning Tower of Pisa versus the Tower of Babel. Like, who's gonna win this?
Are they leaning towards each other or away
But
from?
isn't that dangerous? Because isn't it like if you destroy the base, the whole
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing
falls?
crumbles.
Yeah, but people try to build higher so they can throw nades down or just shoot down below.
It's literally that's what
I
And that's
feel
why-
like, but I feel like that's just like fine for those two guys that are up in that tower, those two teams or whatever that's up in those towers. Because all I would do is come running at. It's like, hey, look, two towers. I'm gonna run at the bottom of that tower, take out my accent, tap, 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 and watch it fall. That's like, especially once you get so high that. Well, I guess you can negate fall damage by building under yourself, but
you
you
wouldn't.
still need something to
If
build
you hit,
on. I don't understand
if
why
you
that-
fall that altitude and you suddenly stop, it's just dead. You
Right,
can't save that.
But what I'm saying is you build as you fall, which I've done that like sliding
Oh,
down the
yeah,
mountain. But you need that's
Well, they
building on
added-
the mountain. If the tower is destroyed, the tower's gone. And I gotta say, the favorite video I like to watch on Fortnite was that guy who got all those kills during one of the truce moments.
Oh,
It was, I think it was the rocket.
I haven't
When
seen
the
that one.
rocket took off. Haven't seen that? So rocket takes. So they have these in-game events, which is another thing I'm going to give Epic's full credit on because their in-game events make me interested in Fortnite. Like I'll go look those up because it sounds so interesting. But they had the in-game event for the rocket. Like there's this rocket blasting off. No one knew exactly what it was going to do or whatever. I think it was the rocket. It's either the rocket or the meteor.
It's a
Anyway,
meteor.
I think it was the meteor.
and so everyone stopped fighting. Everyone got in the game, stopped fighting. Everyone built these really huge ramps that they could climb to the top of and watch whatever was happening at the sky, right? So, everyone's having their little dance party or whatever. It's a truce or whatever. This guy is running around at the base of these little ramps everyone built but it's so much fun to watch because the way Fortnite works is like when you destroy the base, it slowly destroys it walking. Like,
goes
it's
up.
a wave going up.
It's not.
And so you see the people start panicking. They don't have any materials to keep building because they used them all to get up to where they were.
and balloons didn't exist at the
And
time.
balloons didn't exist at the time, or the reusable glider thing that
Oh
that
yeah,
you
I
could use.
forgot about
They
that.
didn't have that, and so you see people like look down and like they're jumping, and it's like watching rats on a sinking ship, just trying to figure out where to go. They're jumping like, "Ah!" And then they eventually just all fall. I think I don't know if he still holds the record, but that guy had the record for longest times of most kills in a match because of doing that, which is a really crappy thing to do, guy. But it was hilarious to watch.
That reminds me of that one guy
probably still
that
has
had
the-
this huge killing spree when BF4 came out and they released those map packs and were like, I think they were releasing DLC where they had the Megalodon and
Yes.
people were trying to discover how to do the Megalodon.
Yes.
This absolute mad lad. Because, you have to have a certain amount of people
Yeah,
in
to
this
have a
body of
lot of
water.
people in the same
This
spot,
absolute mad lad got on a little bird just everyone in the water. His own teammates are screaming at him through his team chat like, no,
What are you doing?
both teams need to be involved.
And that's the thing. I've played
There's
enough.
always one.
Always that one guy. Capitalism.
I
I don't think you want this to turn into a politics podcast.
Okay, economics and politics are the same thing, but let's turn away from that.
Yes.
I'm making a joke.
No.
I like battle royales. It's just I have to steer clear of certain ones. Fortnite because of obvious reasons. I can't build fast enough to win a fight, and that's usually what it boils down to. Even
You
if
don't
I have
like
the
aim.
utmost best drop
No.
on somebody, I lose.
Dude, let's just be honest. Your ego can't handle being pup stomped by little kids.
That's,
I understand.
That's true. That is unfortunately true.
Because those little kids are ridiculous.
Dude, I get on the freaking hoverboard and forget how to get off
There's a
mid
hoverboard?
fight. Yeah, they put the hoverboard in battle royale now.
Remember because they
And
copied
I
Ring of
literally-
Elysium?
Huh?
Remember because they copied
No.
Ring of-
I'm trying to figure out if that. Do they have a snowboard?
It's Fortnite? I have no idea.
Then it probably was a snow. I think it came out around the same time. Because I remember like they threw a whole bunch of things from Ring of Elysium and Fortnite at the same time.
Yeah.
I know the zip line was one. And then I never finished. So
Grappling hook.
when they switched from the snow map to the island map in Ring of Elysium, because this podcast is just all over the place on subjects. The 3 movement things you got was, besides the underwater thing that everyone got, you get the grappling hook
Okay.
instead of the zip line. You still got the glider and you got the BMX bike.
Okay.
The glider was actually on the snow map. The glider was great. It was actually the most preferred because there was a lot of mountain areas. On an island, there's not a lot of mountains, so no one was using the glider. They buffed it by letting you take off like your Buzz Lightyear or something.
Oh my goodness.
You hit the
I fell
button
in love
and
with
you hit the button and you just jet straight up into the
and
air
then deploy.
and then deploy the glider from there.
You just like death from above, people.
Exactly. And so you do. The only thing is that it's really loud. So unlike Apex Legends, but it's like PUBG. It's really loud. So you go. Everyone's looking up because they heard the glider go off. So no matter what town they're in, they're like,
Sound like a
"Someone's in the
bouncing
sky
Betty
now."
going off, except it's far enough away that you're like, oh, hold on, I got a few seconds before I die.
Right.
Oh, there he is. Brrr.
It's so you have that, but it's a good compromise, and so like the movement itself makes things so much more interesting.
And I mean, I haven't had a chance to play it. I plan on downloading it soon and trying it out. Hopefully with you and Aslan here. And you. You have a PC that?
Not yet, no.
No. Kill.
Correct yourself, dude.
Wait, is it?
I want
Fix yourself.
This man just moved from Virginia. Give him time.
I'm sorry. Why? I'm sorry you moved to Alabama is what I'm saying, but
He moved back.
I moved back from school.
so you knew how bad it was that you came back. Well, it was Virginia. You were in Virginia.
Demonetized by Alabama.
We don't have Virginia cops. I'll take our cops over there.
But
I don't know about
it's
it.
3-man
They
teams.
pull you over
They
for
don't
being
play
1 mile
games.
above the speed limit.
They don't play games.
They do not play. They
Meanwhile, you have Alabama where the speed limit's
they
off.
check at their speedometer
sound-
more than they look at their windshield.
It sounds boring. It's not boring. It sounds like they are bored.
So
Sounds
like,
expensive. To me.
they're 3-man squads only in Ring, right?
No, that's Apex Legends. Ring used to have 4, 2, and 1, but I'll be honest, the player base did drop off, especially when Apex came back. Apex came back and it dropped off, and then PUBG got some update where it was actually decent. Because what happened was PUBG was
I know what it is. It's they put Erangel as the map pick,
Hey.
the original map, because they released these pretty garbage maps,
and you couldn't pick a
and
map.
you couldn't pick a single map. You
Yeah.
had to play
It was random.
one of these crappy maps that they really wanted you to play for some reason, or you play their little playlist where it
What was
puts you at
it?
Miramar more than any other map.
Miramar
It
was
was
the bad
random,
one.
and whatever map was newest had a higher chance of.
Yes.
and then
So
people didn't like that.
yeah, people only like Erangel because
It's
it's
a
the
good
original
map.
map and it's actually a really freaking good
It's
map.
a good.
It is a good map.
I said I don't play PUBG. I play a
Right.
ton of PUBG Mobile. The Wrangle's great.
Yeah, Erangel's great.
I like the
Basically, they did the update where you can pick Erangel and only play Erangel if you wanted
When
to.
did they do this?
They did this like
Few months.
3 weeks ago.
Okay, so that wouldn't be why. Because the Ring of Elysium player base dropped off for two reasons, I think. Because when Apex Legends came out, and a lot of people jumped on that. PUBG was really bad, and so when Ring of Elysium came out, a lot of PUBG players went to Ring of Elysium. When Ring of Elysium released a new map, a lot of people didn't like the new map. Also, I think it was around the same time Black Ops 4 came out, and it came out with the blackout mode.
Right.
So a lot of people went and jumped on that. So having all this competition kind of lowered the player base. So to kind of fight that, they couldn't. If you had all the different not all the different servers, but if you had all the different game types, it really slowed down queue times. So they took out duos and single player. They've been talking about putting it back, but they took it out because there wasn't enough people playing to have decent queue times with
It's kind of strange.
That's what they did. A lot of people, it's controversial whether that was a good idea or not. I think they've been talking about putting singles back in there and duos back in there. I'm not sure if they have yet on this new update or not. But they did just drop an update a lot of people I think are going to go back to it because it's a lot of great ideas, a lot of great updates, and they also have the new mechanic that all the other battle royales aren't doing. Whereas all the other battle royales have this big circle, it slowly gets smaller, smaller,
Yeah,
smaller.
it's the one.
Ring of Elysium has they call it the Eye,
The Ashen Eye.
the Ashen Eye, and it's one circle that just moves around. I haven't gotten to play it yet, but it's interesting enough for me to put some time into it and figure out what that's like.
And
Because it could be a blast, it could be horrible. It could be.
honestly, I thought it was a cool idea because they're pegging themselves as a little bit more original. The resource that you're looking for is oxygen. You
Right.
need oxygen to survive. Well, you also need to hit a cap on that so you can get the evac chopper to come evac you. But in doing so, people can come hunt you down for your oxygen.
Right. The person with the highest oxygen is marked on the map, right?
No. It's when the chopper's called in, people are alerted to it.
I
And
thought
that's
the
what
person-
draws
I
them
thought-
to you. It's not
Because
the,
it knows where it's going, because it's coming to you.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
So don't get sniped from across the map.
Which is not. Which I mean,
Impossible.
it's not impossible, but I'm pretty sure. I wonder if you get to choose when you call in a chopper.
See, that's another interesting
'Cause
thing.
It'd be one thing to like you're running across the open field, and well, no, because you loot the air from people, so you probably choose as like,
Yeah, upon kill, it just goes into your reserves.
really, you
Yeah.
don't have to go to their body to get it. Okay, see that might.
That's what I saw in the video footage, but it
So
might be
now
different.
I'm avoiding even trying to fight someone in the open field because I don't want to call the chopper while I'm in this open field. Let me kill someone in a town where I can hide and let this chopper come find me. Which is why I'm wondering if you could choose when to
And
call the chopper.
Like I said, this is a good reason for me to finish setting up my PC so I can that's probably going to be one of the first things I
Just-
download.
I would argue being part of the PC Master Race is a good reason to.
Pana,
He's not wrong.
That's just me.
Unfortunately, I love all gaming formats except for handheld devices and iOS or smartphones. Those
What you got against mobile
What
phones?
you got against Game Boy?
honestly, I'm still on a
What do you
7
got,
Plus.
Game Boy SP.
Whose fault is that?
Not mine. It's a hand me down.
So it's still your fault.
Damn it! I mean, darn it!
Plant.
Demonetized.
I don't even think this is monetized.
It's
You didn't check the monetized button.
We're not monetized.
We're not
It's
monetized.
just a joke. We have 46 subs.
You
We
think
are
they're
not
gonna give us money
monetized.
for this?
You have 46. That's like 43 more than me.
Yeah, we really
Hey,
need to.
we're winning.
No, it's funny because I did this thing where I looked up your YouTube channel to see if you got a new upload. I looked up your YouTube channel name. Our freaking video is the first thing that popped up.
Because, well,
You're tagged.
one,
in
you
it.
have more subs. Two, I was gone for 2 weeks and I haven't put up a video in like.
I'm still claiming victory.
You can be part of this.
No!
No, let him be his own thing. I like having a special guest, okay?
That's
It's a lot cooler saying we have a special guest and rather.
Well, there was some podcast I was doing. It's like there's this I don't want to
Words.
I don't
please.
want to throw out another podcast, but basically, a guy started a podcast on his own, and his friend called into the podcast one time as like a special guest, and it became such a regular thing. They now co-host the podcast. So that's, I mean, it could be 4, but then you won't have your. We can. There wouldn't be enough rooms. There's not another chair for a special guest.
No, unfortunately, that's true.
You'll just be the special guest that always comes. You're like the next door neighbor that we refuse
Honestly, if I
What?
could knock that wall out and push it back,
Let's do it.
There was another podcast I was listening to who had a joke about the sound man being the special guest. They always called him the special guest. They had other guests on the podcast, but the running joke was that the sound man was also the special guest. So
why not?
Totally go with that. And then you have a running joke now. You just keep calling me a special guest, and I always show up. And then I don't know, episode 50, you're gonna have people call it. You're gonna have people writing in. Why do y'all keep calling Ice the special guest? He's always on, and you'll be like, just go back and listen to the old episodes.
Episode 2. Episode 2. Go back.
Just start at the very beginning.
Start at the beginning.
That's
You'll
not a
love
very
it.
entry for new listeners
Anybody
at
else
all.
is the extra special guest.
We're finding stories to tell,
Yeah.
and it's kind of amusing, and we're finding
No.
games to talk about.
I want to be the extra special guest. We'll make anyone else just the special guest.
That's
No, we'll just do special guest first, and we'll put the and sign, and then you. That's what we'll do.
I always get to be last. I always get to be the last one.
You're just a tagline now.
Oof.
You're not even a special guest.
We still love you.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Walking Airheads.
I'll forever remember that one episode of TF or Rainbow Six.
You almost say TF2?
I almost did.
You don't miss it. Come on, man.
It's another reason to get this PC up and running. Man, hold on. Y'all keep.
So you have a list of topics.
Yeah, I kind of threw it away.
Well done.
I was pretty confident, but basically, I think he was talking
How you
about.
feeling now?
I think he was talking about the video that you were on. You watched that one, right? The one that you were on.
Yes,
Rainbow
I watched
Six?
the Rainbow
That's
Six
great.
that I watched.
That's great.
But he edits them so hard. Me being here doesn't
Fair
even matter.
What do you mean? You were the
You
reason.
record for like 3 hours and end up with like maybe 10 minutes. worth
Yes,
of
that's the
footage
joke.
because you were so strict.
No, we're a lot better because Mark's a lot better about being on topic now.
Is he?
Oh,
No, yeah,
Y'all have topics while y'all play games?
Like the game is the topic.
I'm
That's the thing.
cyberbullying
Mark
you,
talked
too.
about anything that wasn't the game, and now Mark's gotten a lot better. I even talked to him. I'm like, when we first started this channel, I'm like, Mark, you need to be better about this because I'll record, let's say, 4 hours of gameplay. I'll use 7 minutes of it because a lot of it just gets really off track, and he starts talking
Are you
about video
saying-
games and stuff.
Are you saying you're trying to start a channel where it's not just, where it's actually a game channel talking about the video game you're playing and not a vlog in disguise?
Yes, that's
Because I feel
Mark-
like a lot of streams are just vlogs in disguise.
You're
It's like
not
they're
wrong.
playing the game as the background and they're just talking about whatever they want to talk about.
yeah.
Talk about
They're
your
just
life.
doing what Leafy is here did.
Who?
Nothing. I said nothing. YouTube.
You said something.
But basically, yes. So Mark has gotten a lot better. So basically, these recent videos.
Yes, we wait for you to walk away before we start talking about
Wait,
I'm talking trash about you, Mark.
Oh,
Welcome back.
go for it, man. I
I
love
already,
it.
told him about how me and you had to talk about you being better about talking about the game we're playing. Because remember, I would have we would record all these gameplays, and you'd be talking about something way out there. It's like something the viewer would have no idea what the hell you're talking about. It's like, Mark, what?
Inside jokes are
But-
fun for the viewer.
But the most recent video we did, Human Fall Flat. Are you aware of that?
I'm aware
Video
of the video game. I didn't watch that.
Okay, so basically, we did a video. It was me, Mark, Caleb, and our other friend Ethan, this is the second time on the channel. Basically, we were playing the game, and I do this thing where I take a little break in between the recording parts. So I don't have just one really long gameplay clip. I have
Right.
multiple small ones, so it's
Right.
easier to edit.
You don't have to render
Mark's,
3 hours.
that was
of
Mark's
video.
brilliant idea. So basically, what I did is I
And then you
took a
forget to hit record and miss a lot of footage. What?
It's not a lot. It's kind of.
So basically, what I do is when I was playing that game, is every time I completed a level, I would stop the recording and start it immediately. So I'd have one level for each clip. Basically, this newest video, the Human Fall Flat one, I was able to make a full 10-minute video with 2 clips, 2 levels. Back in the day, during February when we first started this crap, it would have taken
High five, Mark.
it would have taken the whole game to get 5 minutes worth of commentary, just clips to use.
Honestly,
So-
I blame the games we were picking at the time. Like Apex was hard to get good clips out of.
Apex is battle royales. I just don't want to do it for my editing style because I want the videos to be always
Juicy.
exciting and no
Battle
no
royales-
bare moments.
Battle royales are basically games made to make it like you and your friends
You gotta
can
hunt them.
shoot the wind and whatever. Like while you're between fights, y'all are just hanging out, talking about whatever,
Banter.
See, I'm
banter,
just-
and then you get to the fight. You have this really intense moment, and then banter into the next fight. Or if it's me and my friends, you get to the fight, you die, and then banter until you drop again.
yeah,
That's so true.
here's what happens with me playing Apex. I go in thinking all right, I'm gonna do something stupid, Leroy Jenkins kind of crap, and it's not gonna work out. And then I get ultra serious for no reason. I'm like, I got this. I believe in myself.
I'm guilty of that too. I'm very guilty of that. I think we're gonna have the goofiest time,
You know
but
what?
we want to play serious.
What happens in Apex Legends is because it's like if you drop serious and you're like, I'm gonna be super serious, and you end up getting wrecked right away because you hot dropped for some god awful reason. Your rando ran away and boom, you die. But the time when you're like, I'm gonna be really silly and I am going to, I don't know, drop on, I had this one guy that when they first updated the map and they had the dinosaurs, every time we dropped, he wanted to hit a dinosaur. He was like, "We're gonna hit that dinosaur," because he had a blast hitting the dinosaur. I was like, it was kind of fun. So every time we hit the dinosaur, it started the game off really nice and loose. But then when inevitably happens, you end up getting a gold shield or a really nice gun, and you're like, wait a second, I'm really looted. I got some nice loot. I'm gonna wreck everybody on this headshot with a triple take. You dead.
They let you do all the hard work and reap the rewards.
You're like, I'm going to really get good on this one. Headshot. Someone with a longbow that has a ridiculous aim is just like, pop, pop, pop. And you're like, well, I thought this game was going to be my good one. Because every game I've won, it's like I haven't been trying. I had a game for Apex Legends. I had 130 damage. We didn't see a single other squad the whole game until the end. Mm-hmm. And that was the squad. We just wiped them out. But we altogether had maybe 300 damage as a team and 3 kills together. I have had games where I've had 500 damage consistently lately, especially with the new rank mode, because it means I'm playing people that actually shoot similar to me. I'm not just getting wrecked by some Shroud-like guy who, headshots with the alternator for every single shot. And I'll get 500 damage, and I'll get knockdowns all day long, but I will end up with 0 kills because I either can't finish them or I get knocked down. My team can't finish it up.
I always get gutsy and get in there and try to finish that job. Even if I have to throw a ninja star. Oh
I need to start doing that. I used to do that, but I stopped when it, because I love the shield mechanic because it makes it, it's really risk and reward whether you want to go finish that guy out or not.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to kill this guy. I'll get the kill, but his teammate will mow me down instantly after. So I'm going to try to play a more team-like game. So I'll shoot the guy, knock him down, run around the corner, try to get his teammate. Sometimes it works. I'm starting to get more damage of just not getting any kills.
That's why I wish they added more of the ninja stars into the game that they had in Titanfall 2.
I love me some ninja stars.
Oh my goodness. I wish I'd saved this clip because it did happen.
It didn't happen.
I'm about to say video or it didn't happen. GTFO?
It's that weird map, the one with the big trench that goes through the middle.
Are we talking about
and it has Titanfall 2.
I'm about to say,
and it has
the weird map. You mean the only map?
It has a small bridge that comes through the middle. There's a capture point there. Or no, I'm sorry. It was a
capture point.
Not capture point. What was it? It was something else. No, it was a hot zone. That's what it was. But it had the side routes around the ravines. And I was trying to use a launcher to finish off a mech. And for the life of me, I couldn't lock on and get the hit.
Are you talking about Titanfall 2?
Titanfall 2.
Okay.
Small map.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of the smallest ones that you can have with mechs, and it still worked. It was what's the kind of capture the flag?
It was capture the flag.
Yeah, it was a capture the flag map. I couldn't hit this freaking mech. He was just and he was that much health. So I just freaked out and threw a ninja star, dead. And I just sit there okay, first off, hit that share button so I can save that. And unfortunately, I deleted my entire library. So I had no way to prove it happened.
No, the ninja stars in Titanfall 2 was actually a really great way to slow down a mech. Even if you didn't kill him, it was a great way to be especially if you were in a situation where it's I have no resources to fight this guy right now. Ninja star, run away.
And that's what I like. I like especially the recon knife. Oh my god, it was like playing Call of Duty with throwing knives all over again.
I'm gonna hit you in the face. It's not the playing Call of Duty. Call of Duty is garbage.
Regardless, it was a one-hit KO if you hit somebody with the recon knife.
Really?
Yeah. You just throw it and
like Call of Duty.
No. And
Titanfall, the recon knife, you used it to hack the machines.
No. Titanfall 2. It was what you do is you throw the knife and it beacons out and tags everybody.
The pulse blade.
That one. One hit KO on anybody.
All these hand motions are really great for an audio podcast.
Oh, Jesus.
Johnson's throwing gang signs at me.
I'm throwing gang signs at everyone.
As I was trying to tell you that there's 5 minutes left.
I'm trying to be really quiet and
we kind of threw away from
man, we literally I did not realize we did this for an hour.
Yeah, and
We're
time
not-
flies when you're talking about people with
Here.
100 gigs of
Just
bandwidth.
enjoying company
Dude,
and talking.
I was gonna say time flies when you're having fun, but it does fly when you're having 100 gig of bandwidth. Your internet flies too. 100 gig of bandwidth.
It comes full circle.
Your internet.
It's like trying to be an AI unit and everything's just going in slow motion around you. You're like, I got this.
What are you?
It's all right. It's all right. It's vibrating, and I want the microphone to pick it up.
That's fair. Is somebody calling me?
Yes.
So we got
someone's
any
trying to call me.
hot takes for
Is
the
it the-
last 5 minutes?
Oh,
I feel like I've hijacked this podcast.
it's all good. Don't worry
No,
I
about
feel
it.
like you're gonna get a whole
It
bunch
was
of
well
messages.
worth
Who's that
it.
dude, and why does he talk all the time?
Why is that man's mouth still working? But
He with the face
I was
shut.
gonna say something. Oh, that's right. So like, yeah, when you're talking about taking games serious, or people like, we always try to like not take games serious, but we end up doing it. But the one time we absolutely just memed around. It was me, you, and Ethan, Mark, where did you watch our latest Rainbow Six video? Basically, towards the end of the video, we decided to switch teams, and so. You know how the attacking team's trying to secure the objective, the defending team trying to stop them, obviously attacking defend. Basically, the defending team,
What is this?
we're at Favela,
secure area.
and there's this garage area where if you go in the garage, you're considered to be outside if you're a defender, and it'll ping your location to the enemies. So basically, we teamed up. I was Doc, and Ethan was Rook. So we're basically completely supportive characters. So I heal people, and Rook deploys the armor. So what we did was I tried to tell the whole enemy team, do not kill us. So we went on this garage area. One guy from their team met up with us, and he grabbed some armor. I was healing him, and he was just mowing down our buddies, and it was worth it.
You call that memeing? I call it being a total J-hole.
Oh, it was
I
great.
call it being a J-A-hole.
Well, you don't know how to have fun.
But you're ruining everyone else's game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
It's fun for us.
But you're bullying
I
is
don't-
fun for the bully.
Sadism was fun for Stalin.
Bullying was fun.
I
Wow.
don't think you know. I'm a cyber bully.
Apparently, because it sounds.
Better call the
As long
cyber.
as long as I'm having fun, F the other guy.
Call the cyber police. See what happens. See what
Honest-
happens.
Honestly, I kind of want to do.
Ubisoft is the cyber.
I kind of want to do what I want to see what we can get out of Ring of Elysium, but I kind of want
It's
to
gonna be
do.
this. I mean, as far as when it comes to streaming, it's gonna be like any other
But I-
VR.
Genuinely want to just go in there and just f around. That's all I want to do.
Well, that's
What's really fun to do is being like Spider-Man, because when you used to grappling hook on the ceiling, you actually hang upside down from the ceiling. Yeah.
Can we have the kiss scene? Want to do that?
I tend to like kissing people with the business end of my
What-
shotgun as they walk into the
Can you
building.
slowly
but sure.
like creep down and grab them by their shoulders and just like
Pull them up.
What is that from? What is that from?
Every Spider-Man game ever.
No, it's That's what Batman likes to
Yeah.
do. The
Oh, yeah.
guards walking around, just sucks in the bitch, just like gone. It's like okay.
And suddenly fall from the ceiling is like skeleton bones.
He's not dead. He's unconscious.
Batman doesn't kill people.
He did in freaking Batman versus Superman.
He doesn't kill people with
Those
his
people
car.
chasing are all dead. Okay.
He doesn't kill. Some YouTube video was talking about how like they counted all the times that it was. The title of the video was like definitely dead. That guy too got from a building. There's no way he lived to do that. He's dead.
I'm counting on
It's
it.
the whole Batman.
That
versus
he blew up
Superman.
he's in his Batmobile and he just blew up all those cars. Those people are dead.
Batfleck kills people.
Batfleck.
Batfleck. Ben Affleck. Batman.
Batfleck.
Batfleck kills people.
Batfleck. Fleck.
Bat.
Batfleck.
Batfleck? That
Batfleck.
sounds like some sort of
It's
symbiote.
Batfleck.
All right,
Hey man, do you have
we're
back
closing in the last 50 seconds. guys.
Last 50 seconds. You got any closing remarks, Isaiah?
It was a great
Ice,
time. I
sorry.
look forward to being the repeating of special,
The extra special
guest.
Yes, because we
Thank you.
have
Extra
a
special-
different special guest for next month.
Maybe
And if
next-
you're here, then you'll be the other special
Maybe
guest.
next month I won't talk
No,
as much.
the
as I
extra special, not the other.
Well, I guess it depends. Like if the other special guest talks as much as me, then it's fine.
He probably does.
So
He
you can
probably
just
does.
say we invite special guests to carry our podcast.
All right.
All right, any closing statements, Caleb? Wow.
So
Way
should
to
we
not
sign-
conform.
Should we sign off?
What I do?
We should silence Caleb. Oof, he's already
Sign
silenced
off,
himself.
not silence.
All right, we're signing off.
Silence.
So thank you for listening. I'm gonna an hour out. Watch this.
No, I'm gonna start a story
Watch
right
this.
now. so
No,
you can't
no.
do that.
Goodbye,
I was talking to
internet.
this other guy.